Hi, and welcome to the Early Retirement Roadmap Podcast, the show where I help you prepare for and thrive in early retirement with practical and actionable advice. Do you know there's a silent threat to your retirement plans, and most people don't even see it coming? And no, it's not things that people always seem to worry about in retirement planning, things like market crashes, inflation, and running out of money. It's taxes. More specifically, it's how your traditional retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs could trigger a massive tax bill down the road unless you act. Today, we're talking about Roth conversions and why it's really important to consider them in your retirement planning, perhaps more than ever, and how to avoid missing what might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pay taxes on your terms, not Uncle Sam's. Stick around because I'll also explain how the Affordable Care Act, enhanced subsidies, Medicare, and even estate planning factor into this, and how failing to plan could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in extra taxes and higher health insurance premiums. Let's start with the big picture. The U.S. government is carrying more debt than ever. In 2024, over $35 trillion per the U.S. Treasury, and of course, it's still climbing. According to the Congressional Budget Office, there are only two ways to deal with this: cut trillions from the budget, which we all know isn't likely, or the far more likely avenue, raise taxes. And here's the big thing to watch. Unless Congress acts, the lower tax rates we've enjoyed since 2018 are set to expire at the end of 2025. That means starting in 2026, tax rates for nearly everyone will jump back to the higher pre-2018 levels. The standard deduction will also shrink, and several other tax breaks will become less generous. So the window to take advantage of today's lower tax rates may be closing fast. While the current administration has expressed a desire to keep taxes low, especially for retirees and middle-income households, the national debt crisis may force action sooner rather than later. Ultimately, Congress decides tax law, and many experts believe that no matter who's in office, higher tax rates are coming, if not in 2026, then in the next few years. That means the clock is ticking. Whether these lower rates expire at the end of this year or extended a few more years, there is still a window of opportunity, one that's unlikely to last forever. Every year you wait is a year of potential tax savings lost. So here's the point. Now is the time to explore Roth conversions. While we're still in this tax-friendly environment, a Roth conversion means moving money from a traditional IRA or 401k into a Roth account, which creates taxable income for that year. And what a lot of people don't know is many workplace retirement plans now also offer a Roth 401k option. In fact, over 90% of plans include this feature. So if you're still working, check whether your employer offers a Roth 401k as part of your retirement planning toolbox. Now, if you've retired early or are self-employed and relying on ACA health coverage, it's especially important to understand how these conversions can impact your health insurance premiums and subsidies, because the premiums and subsidies you are eligible for are based on your modified adjusted gross income or MAGI. Roth conversions increase your MAGI, and if your MAGI crosses certain thresholds, you could lose thousands in premium subsidies, especially if the enhanced subsidies from the Inflation Reduction Act expire after 2025, as they're currently set to do. While a few lawmakers have voiced support for extending these enhanced subsidies, most signs in Congress point to little momentum for renewal right now. That means it's prudent to plan as if these enhanced subsidies will end after this year, which could make your health insurance premiums jump significantly if your income, including Roth conversions, pushes you over key thresholds. Unless Congress acts again, 2026 will bring back the old subsidy cliffs, where even $1 over the limit could mean losing thousands in credits. If you're converting large amounts from a traditional IRA or 401k to a Roth IRA, your health insurance premiums could skyrocket. So for early retirees, this is something you really need to consider and plan carefully regarding. Should you do any conversions now while taxes are low and risk higher ACA premiums, or delay and possibly face higher tax rates later? Now, if you're still working and get your health insurance under an employer-sponsored health plan, or if you're age 65 or older and on Medicare, you don't have this ACA trade-off. But keep in mind, large Roth conversions for those in Medicare can push your income high enough to trigger IRMAA surcharges, which increase your Medicare premiums for both Part B medical insurance and Part D prescription drug coverage. Remember, Medicare's IRMAA surcharges are based on your income from 2 years prior, so a big conversion today might raise your premiums a couple of years down the line. That's why even here, planning is crucial. And for those still working, don't assume you should wait until retirement. While converting during a temporary lower income year can be especially advantageous, it can also make sense to start converting now, even if you're not in a lower income year. Again, it's because we're currently in a period of historically low tax rates, and there's a real possibility they could increase in the coming years, depending on what Congress decides. By converting now, you can take advantage of today's rates and potentially reduce your future required minimum distributions or RMDs, giving you more flexibility and tax-free income in retirement. You can also manage your taxable income by maximizing deductions, making charitable contributions, or strategically timing withdrawals and conversions, all with the goal of offsetting the extra income from a Roth conversion and keeping your overall taxes as low as possible, ideally staying within your current tax bracket and avoid being pushed into a higher one. Let's talk about some additional benefits of Roth conversions that people often overlook. Roth IRAs, and per the Secure 2.0 Act in 2024, Roth 401ks too, are not subject to required minimum distributions or RMDs during your lifetime. This gives you more control over your taxable income in retirement. Both Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks can be passed to heirs income tax-free if the 5-year rule is met, making them powerful estate planning tools. However, heirs must follow required distribution rules, typically withdrawing the balance within 10 years. If you plan to make large charitable gifts, doing so in the same year as a Roth conversion can help offset some of the tax bill from the conversion. For those retiring before 59 and a half, a Roth conversion ladder allows penalty-free access to retirement funds after 5 years. A Roth conversion ladder is a strategy where you convert portions of a traditional IRA or 401k to a Roth IRA over several years. Each converted amount can be withdrawn penalty-free after it's been in the Roth for 5 years. And here's an important nuance. That 5-year rule applies to the principal, that is the amount converted. You can withdraw that converted amount without penalty or tax after 5 years, even if you're under 59 and a half. However, any investment earnings on that converted amount are still subject to the usual Roth rules, meaning they're only tax and penalty free if you're at least 59 and a half and the Roth account is at least 5 years old. So early access is possible, but only to what you've converted, not the growth on it. Also be aware that not all 401k plans allow direct Roth conversions, so some may need to roll over to a traditional IRA first. This strategy can be a powerful way for early retirees to access retirement savings without triggering the 10% early withdrawal penalty. If you haven't explored doing Roth conversions, you really should, as you could potentially save thousands, even hundreds of thousands in taxes by doing strategic conversions, but it takes planning. So what should you do? Run the numbers. Use a free online tool like the Charles Schwab's Roth IRA Conversion Calculator or the Bolden Roth Conversion Calculator to model different Roth conversion scenarios. I put links to them in the description and both are free to use. Just keep in mind these calculators are a great starting point, but they don't always factor in real-world issues like ACA subsidy loss, Medicare IRMAA, state taxes, or potential changes in tax rates. For example, some states tax Roth conversions while others don't, so be sure to check your state's rules before making a decision. Also, if you're already collecting Social Security, remember that Roth conversions, again, increase your taxable income for the year, which can cause a larger portion of your Social Security benefits to become taxable. For a truly accurate plan, you want to consider these factors or work with a qualified advisor. If you are using the ACA for health insurance, be aware of the ACA cliffs. For 2025, the enhanced subsidies from the Inflation Reduction Act mean there's no real subsidy cliff. Subsidies phase out gradually, so you won't lose all your premium assistance with a small increase in income. But unless Congress acts like we talked about earlier, these enhanced subsidies will expire at the end of 2025, and the sharp subsidy cliff is set to return in 2026. That means if your income goes just above 400% of the federal poverty level in 2026, you could suddenly lose all subsidy eligibility and face much higher premiums. Talk to a financial advisor who understands Roth, MAGI, and the effects on ACA premiums and Medicare IRMAA if these apply to you, because not all financial advisors do understand these nuances. To find the right advisor, be prepared to interview them and ask specific questions about their experience with Roth conversions, healthcare subsidies, and income planning for retirement. Look for advisors with relevant credentials and don't hesitate to request examples of how they've helped clients in similar situations. Let me leave you with this. Even if I'm wrong and tax rates stay low, a Roth conversion can still save you big, just maybe not as much. But if I'm right and tax rates do go up like many experts predict, doing nothing could cost you hundreds of thousands more in lifetime taxes. Either way, the math usually favors doing something sooner rather than later if you can swing it. But as I said, it takes very strategic planning. If this episode made you think differently about Roth conversions and their timing and you found it helpful, depending on the platform you're listening on, please follow, subscribe, like, and leave a review or comment. And when you're not on the go, check out the Early Retirement Roadmap YouTube channel and my website, MikeUpland.com, that has all my media, including my blog. Thanks for listening. This is Mike Upland, early retiree last year at 55. Take care and make the most of today.